I understand. I'm gonna need you to step out so we can check the residence.
You'd think better than to do that to me, wouldn't you?
An officer who was working in a local hospital was patrolling the premises at the time when his body cam recorded something concerning at the end of the hospital floor. A dark shadow seems to materialize out of nowhere and then disappear again. Many are certain that this could be a former patient, or perhaps the Angel of Death. Is this possible? This recording was shared by an officer who stated that they noticed something strange in the abandoned building across the police station. Their CCTV camera captured what appeared to be people, even though nobody was living there. It is pretty clear that there are two outlines that are not accounted for. How is this possible? As stated before, nobody was living in this building at the time. Was it perhaps two visitors from the afterlife? This is another strange CCTV recording which was captured in front of another police station. They saw a ghostly object hovering around in the midst of night. What could this be? This was captured by an officer who just started patrolling the night shift at a new job. People told him that this old building might be haunted, but he didn't believe his fellow officers. Just ghost stories, he thought. Well, then the following unfolded.
No mames, güey, necesito que alguien venga, güey. Se escuchan cosas, güey, y... No mames, se escucha la puta regadera, güey, del puto baño, güey. Mames. Necesito que alguien venga, güey. Me estoy cagando de miedo, güey. A Chile, güey. Oiga, güey. No mames, güey. No prende la puta luz, güey. No mames, Cuchi, güey. No seas ojete, güey. No mames. No mames, güey. ¡Hay alguien, güey! ¡A la verga! ¡No mames! ¡Su puta madre, güey! ¡No mames! ¡No mames!
A creepy pale face is peeking out at him from behind a wall. The man states that he clocked out after his night. How terrifying. The following two officers were apparently called to patrol an old school building because the janitor was hearing and seeing pretty scary things there, alone at night. As the night went on, things really started to get strange.
Sí, boludo, hace un resfrío. Pero acá parece que hace más frío, porque dice cuando hace frío que es por algo, digamos. ¿Dónde escuchas? Boludo, acá hay ruido en toda la escuela. Pero sí, boludo, escuchate. ¿Ves a escuchar? ¿Escuchás, boludo? ¿No escuchás? Ah, boludo. Por acá era. Boludo, ¿viste eso? Ah, boludo. Aguantá, boludo, aguantá. Aguantá.
They had no explanation for all these odd occurrences. Could it be that the building was haunted? Now let's take another look at the case of security officer Tim Saber, who, after starting a new job and working the night shift, had experienced some pretty odd happenings at his new workplace. The storage facilities he was patrolling seemed to be home to a lot of paranormal activity. Why, however, is unknown. And this was one of the first really strange encounters that Tim had captured on his phone. A pale pair of feet can be seen in one of the stalls, and what's interesting about this is that Tim stated that he didn't see them at first. Only after looking at the area for a few seconds did they manifest to the human eye. How eerie. After this incident, he was already extremely freaked out, and he had to start recording these incidents now more and more, since this sighting was not an isolated one. In one instance, an ominous roar echoed through the halls. Followed by a locker door swinging open on its own accord. These unexplained occurrences became his haunting reality. Drawn by mysterious bangs, Tim's curiosity led him to an abandoned warehouse, filled with an assortment of forgotten objects.
Hello?
Here, the paranormal activity intensified. A mannequin crashed to the floor, followed by the shattering of glass. The air grew heavy with a woman's cry and another spine-chilling roar.
What the? Whoa! Hello? Who's there? Hello?
Many were certain that Tim had to deal with something demonic in this facility and that it had gotten quite dangerous for him. Somebody was clearly standing at the end of the hallway, and based on Tim's reports, this was nothing human.
Hello?
Here, Tim seems to have captured the arms and hands of a shadow being that wasn't stemming from our realm. He was so afraid that night that he had to give in his notice because he simply couldn't handle all of that any longer, and who can blame him?
My last night shift at the facility.
So, Tim went on and documented his last night at this haunted facility, and he couldn't wait to finally put this extremely scary adventure behind him. But it seemed that during his last night, during his last shift, whatever was living in those storage facilities wanted to make sure that he would never forget this night. A woman's silhouette, more distinct than ever, sat in the corner, as the female figure locked eyes with him. The recording abruptly ended, leaving us in suspense. The fate of Tim and the truth behind his encounters remain shrouded in uncertainty. We may never know the full story, and the final verdict rests in your hand. The following was captured and shared by a guard who believes that this particular night he captured something mysterious that was peeking out of an office building that he was patrolling this night, and he was making contact to his co-workers to tell them that something doesn't seem quite right.
Alright, can you see this thing?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. What's happening with the lights? Because I'm
The lights are...
hallway, and I can't see, I literally see nothing.
The lights are off right now. Oh, it just moved. It just moved.
No, it did not.
It just moved. It just moved.
I just heard a weird noise. Please don't tell me that as you said that.
Dude, it just moved.
A shadow can be seen on the 4th floor window before it suddenly disappears out of sight. And it's quite intriguing how it just seems to vanish into thin air, leaving little room for speculation that this could have been a human intruder, at least in the guard's opinion. But what do you believe? Was it a ghostly entity that was visiting here? This video was captured by an officer who was patrolling an office building at night. He and his colleagues have heard and seen many creepy things in the hallways in the past. And whenever there's something mysterious going on, they start documenting it. Tonight was no exception. The man states that he initially heard someone talking, and the noises were stemming from the elevator area. The man finds no trace of whatever was lurking from behind the elevator wall, but if we take another look at it, it becomes evident that a strange-looking piece of cloth or black shadow seems to be waving towards the man. He is sure that this was something paranormal, and if nobody was pranking him here, maybe he's right. The following incident has been broadcast on a TV station, and apparently a police department was pretty certain that they have come across a ghost which was captured at their department.
Some police officers saw something that freaked them out, and they captured it on camera.
It's an image that some people say appears to be a ghost walking around the police station. Nancy Laughlin has the video and talked to the men who shot it.
It started out as a pretty typical Saturday night. Espanola police officer Carl Romero was on duty, keeping an eye on the surveillance cameras around the station, when he saw something in the sally port.
At first, I thought it was like a polilla, like a fly, a moth, and then I saw the legs and it was a human.
But not a real human?
No, it was just a ghost.
So Romero reported it and told his supervisors. Detectives showed us the camera that captured the image. They say there is no way in or out of the secured area without an open gate and alarm sounding.
You can see it walk through. It walks in the direction of the old transport cages, and there's not really any way for it to get out through there, but it seems to walk right through that.
Detectives say there's no logical explanation for this, not an issue with the lighting or a technical glitch. Turns out there are a lot of ghost stories around here.
A lot of our officers have seen certain things. Some of our officers have felt what appears to be somebody breathing down their neck as they're working on reports in the briefing room.
Cops at the station also report hearing strange noises in the middle of the night and seeing unexplainable images in the lobby area too. Espanola police tell us as far as they know, this is not an ancient burial ground, and they say the police station has been here since 2006, but no inmates have died here. But they do say there have been some unsolved murders nearby. Do you believe in ghosts?
I do, actually. I do believe in ghosts.
Do you think that was a ghost?
I do. I do believe it was something. It's hard to say, but I do believe it was a ghost.
These guys say they're not afraid of it, but it's definitely an image that haunts the officers who work here.
So what do we say? Is it just one of those infamous camera glitches that get recorded ever so often? Or a spider web? Or are we talking about something paranormal indeed? These recordings stem from a young security officer who was working the graveyard shift in a hospital in Chile, and he was responsible for keeping the place safe at night during the ongoing renovations. But he states that human intruders weren't the only thing that he was concerned about. He saw and heard some really inexplicable things during his shifts, and eventually started recording them.
Creo que el sonido vino de por acá, me parece. Hola. Vamos a seguir mejor. Apaga la linterna. Aquí no hay nada. Conche su madre. No voy a de dónde. Mejor voy a salir luego de acá. Zoom me está fallando, pero ahí sí. Los pasillos de acá. No de ahí al fondo. Como pueden ver, aquí está todo normal. Así que vamos a seguir explorando por aquí. A ver si es que encontramos alguna cosa interesante. Conchetumare. Conchetumare, ¿no? ¿Qué es esa wea, conchetumare? ¿Quién está ahí? Tu madre, pues. ¿Quién está ahí? Conche su madre. Conche tu madre. ¿Quién anda ahí? ¿Qué hueá fue eso?
There is, without a doubt, some really creepy shadow sightings that nobody has any explanation for. What do you think is going on here? This was supposedly captured by a patrolling officer in the area. What had caused him to take a closer look at this house is unfortunately unknown.
422. This place definitely gives out some creepy vibes. Keep seeing shadows walking by. What the?
Now, this could either be some creepy editing, or we are looking at a shadow person. What that creepy laughing means, though, I couldn't say. This was another TV report which shows two officers as they were chasing down a speeding car.
Runaway carves across the carriageway and calls it a day. You're nicked. Or you should be.
Where is he?
There's no one outside, no one behind the wheel, and the van is locked.
Where's he gone?
It's magic.
He's in the back. He's in the back. He stopped to think he's hiding in the back. There's no one in the driver or passenger seat.
To their surprise, the car was completely empty and apparently locked. So either the driver was hiding somewhere really clever, or what else could have unfolded here? The following security guard states that other staff has been seeing strange shadow sightings in this grocery store for quite some time now, and that nobody could ever really explain this phenomenon. It happens so frequently that staff are already joking about the shopping shadows they see. And tonight, the guard seems to have captured the activity on camera.
Se mira acá de este lado es la pantalla que está prendida. Ahí arriba, esa. De ahí en más, pues estoy solo, les digo, está todo solo ahorita. Solo. Y ahorita había algo allá, en la entrada de clientes. Hasta allá, hasta el último. Y lo vi clarito. Ya lo vi otra vez. A ver si se alcanza a ver. No, me da miedo ir. A eso que se mira ahí. Ese. Miren, ya se movió. ¡Oh! Está caminando, de hecho está que no manches.
There clearly is a dark silhouette walking in the aisle in the background, and if it wasn't another staff member or customer, do we have to believe that this one is one of these shadows that the man was telling us about in the beginning? How eerie. On the last day of 2022, 3 law enforcement officers responded to residents following a tip-off from a neighbor who reported peculiar and disruptive sounds emanating from the premises. During New Year's Eve, a 20-year-old woman named Kamelka was present in the house with a few friends. They engaged in a questionable activity, utilizing a Ouija board with the aim of summoning otherworldly entities related to a family with cannibalistic tendencies and their unfortunate victims. This decision took an unexpected turn when Kamelka abruptly began displaying unpredictable and untamed behavior, ultimately securing herself inside a room According to her friends, something went drastically wrong, indicating that Kamelka appeared to have come under the influence of a malevolent force, indicating that Kamelka might have become possessed.
Jezu, jak to ona tak warczy? Ja pierdzielę. No, totalnie.
Pierdolę, ja dostaję tylko 50 zł, kurwa. Idź tam do...
Uważaj.
Kamila! Kamila!
Ona jest nad nami u góry, od góry coś widzi. Nie? Drut ma jakiś.
The police was unable to enter the room to get her out of there, so instead they decided to place a ladder from the outside, trying to lift her out of the window towards safety. But it unfolded a bit different than they had anticipated.
Tu jesteś, chodź, misiu. Nie bardzo jak świnia, kurwa. Chodź. Chodź tu, kurwo. No, chodź tu. Chodź tu, Kamilka. Kamilka, to też cię widzę. No nie czołgaj się. Kamilka. Dziecko cię woła. Kamilka. Wiktoria cię woła.
Apparently, the police was able to get her out of the house, telling her that her daughter was waiting for her. They took her to the local hospital, where she is still in treatment, and not much is known if her loved ones had taken any additional steps to help her with this estranged behavior. Pretty creepy. Now a recording from an officer that was patrolling the wing of an older airport, which supposedly was completely abandoned at the time. He wasn't the first person to have seen and heard really odd things going on there, especially the washroom areas were notorious for inexplicable noises. Tonight he documented these weird happenings.
Aquí, en este pasillo, hay un baño. En este pasillo hay un baño. Hay un baño de mujeres. En este pasillo hay un baño de mujeres. A esta hora hay un fantasma juguetón que juega con las llaves de lavamanos. Ahí está. Este es el baño. Ese es el baño. Y como ustedes se pueden dar cuenta, están las luces apagadas. Ay, qué miedo. No hay nadie. No hay nadie, no hay nadie, no hay un alma aquí abajo. No tiene por qué haberla. Y en este baño menos. Sin embargo, allí está el fantasma jugando con la llave del agua. Es obviamente una mujer, bueno, a menos que sea. Me voy a acercar poco a poco. Esto está oscuro, man. Se prenden las luces por mi presencia. ¿Sí ven? Se paró. Se quedó quieto. Dale pues. Sigue jugando. ¿Por qué te para? Mira. Hola. Hola, hola. ¿Estás acá? ¿Dónde estás? Se prenden las luces. ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? Necesito otra prueba. Necesito otra prueba. ¡Ay, marica!
It appears that this spirit seems to be pretty smart, even responding to our guard here and proving him wrong. Maybe there's a reason for its presence. Some say it wants to be noticed. Could this be? Whatever the answer, it's pretty eerie. Following video was captured by CCTV camera inside the entrance area of a police station, and based on several officers, they state to have seen some mist-like apparitions outside the glass door for several minutes before the following unfolded.
Cik dengan siapa je? Cik dengan siapa? Selamat.
It was impossible for this to have been caused by a wind breeze, and some of them are pretty certain that something from another realm has opened that door. Could it be that an actual ghost was ripping open the door of the police station? Or how else can we explain this? This was captured by another security officer who seems to be part of a pretty ghostly encounter. Apparently, the man stated that he was talking to a person at the time.
Who is he talking to?
Dispatch to 329.
329, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to a elderly lady. I saw her walking by the door and she said she's looking for Mr. Griffin. Her name is Miss Abigail.
Did you say Miss Abigail?
Yes, ma'am. She says she wants to see Mr. Griffin, and I told her that the canvas is closed, that she should come tomorrow morning, and she might see Mr. Griffin.
Are you sure you're saying Miss Abigail? Like, she's been passed on for 2 years now.
Come again with that, please?
Miss Abigail is she died 2 years ago.
You mean you can't see the person I'm talking to?
No, there's nobody in front of you at all.
It turned out that the officer might have indeed been talking to a deceased person who was looking for somebody, maybe to deliver them one last message. The man swears to have seen this lady, and it is believed that this is one of the many mysterious encounters that have been documented at this station over the years. The next video was shared by 2 officers from Argentina who were working security that night. They were checking the different security cameras that were mounted around the premises. Apparently, there had been a terrifying incident unfolding the night before, and the 2 officers were hoping that one of the cameras might have captured this incident. At first, it appeared that they weren't in luck, but eventually came across a really spooky sight.
Se ve mejor. Fíjate. Ajá. Se fue. Para que si veamos cuando sigamos, para que vean de que no, si alguien puede ver que se va, no se va. Y ahí lo entramos.
Ahí se ve como una calavera.
Aparece, ajá. Y desapareció. Desapareció.
Mira, ahí se aparece como una calavera.
We can see a person that seems to be smoking something. However, the flames are just so massive and the whole encounter just doesn't feel right. But what's even more is the woman suddenly just disappearing into thin air, not to be seen again. And then, based on many comments, the lingering smoke seems to be forming the shape of a skull. How eerie. It is unclear what exactly had transpired here, but it left the officers extremely unsettled.